So we just shorted SECO um, at about 14 bucks. Um, once it cracked here, and then bounced. Um, once it fell into this bounce, we shorted it, and now it's just kind of cracked below support. So I'm hoping this comes back down to 11 or 10. But right now we are at 1,000 shares at about 14 bucks. So I'm gonna hold this through the morning, or at least until it bottoms out. Um, and I'd really like to see this back down where it started, because there's no news at all to support this jump. It's just kind of a strange thing. So just see how this plays out. But it looks good so far. I mean, that's what you want to see. This morning crack and crash, and then fade even more into the open. So hopefully this will continue, and we'll see more fading. Check out their financials. You can see they're in Beijing, so they're a Chinese holdings company. And it looks like back in September they did an offering, a 424B4. Yeah, they dumped 14 million. Let's see, this is probably their IPO. Yeah, they're recently. I mean, they just started, so their IPO was 13 bucks. So that's why it kind of bounced off 13. But I'd like to see it come back down through 13, because I mean, I don't want to get greedy, but you know, it tanked right at the open, faded down to sixes, and then climbed back. So, I mean, long term it's bullish, but to get 70%, $7 on no news, seems a little unsustainable, in my opinion. So, we'll see. So here we just got a really strong crack down below 13, which I think psychologically this $13 was important to bust through if we have a chance of coming back down to 11 or 10, because this was the IPO price. So when this popped this morning, people were probably thinking, okay, this thing's finally going to run from its IPO price of 13. But now that it busted through that, people have given up that notion now, or at least I hope that they will. And psychologically, I hope that that will cause people to lose faith in this being a big run setup, and will now allow this to come back down to where it started, because, like, you know, the game is up. That's what I'm hoping mentally occurs here. So 13 was a key number, and that's just a theory. You know, I don't know what people think, but it just seems to make sense that now that it busted back below that, that it will hopefully and should come back down to the starting point, because there's no news, and now it has broken below that 13 IPO price. So hopefully we're right here. So here we are, a little later in the morning now. You can see it. It bounced. It tried to break back out, but I think the fact that it went below 13 just spooked people. So you know, there was a little bit of a squeeze here and a little resurgence on this back end bounce, but it faded off and then crashed. And then now that it's broken below this previous support, it should come all the way back down to $10, either later today or tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm just gonna play this by ear. I mean, I'd like to hold it through tomorrow and get it all the way back down to 10, but um, we'll just see how it acts here throughout the morning. All right, so here we are the next morning. So we've lost a couple dollars pre-market because of the hold overnight, but we're still in from 14, so we're up, about 3,500 right now. So I think I'm going to cover this now. So yeah, so we lost a couple bucks here, but at the same time, if this was a day trade yesterday, I would have covered at 11. So we wouldn't have even gotten this extra dollar crash. I would have covered here in consolidation. So it's actually still, we still got $500, and even with a cover at this point. So let's close our selected position, 100% of it, which is 1,000 shares from $14. Let's make sure it's correct. 1,000 buy to cover, limit always. Let's do a 1052 limit, so we'll make about 3,500 bucks. Let's do smart, and yeah, let's lock that in and move on. We'll give it one more second to see if it can tick down at all, but all right, let's send it in.
Order partially filled.
So we filled 805, so we have 195 left. And that's at 10.
Order partially filled.
Okay, so we have 84 left. So right now we have a buy order waiting at 1052 because that's our limit. So we need this seller. There we go. Yeah, it should come down more this morning, but what do we care? We spent literally $7 in commission and made about 3,500.